What's up, everybody? This is your host, AC Slater. You're listening to the episode of That Damn Podcast, that DC Anime Marvel podcast. And I'm back again with my co-host. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, guys? Nick Mel, as always. Now, technical difficulties, TECHNICKAL. If you are excited for new Death Stranding 2 release, come on over my channel, Technical Difficulties, Twitch, Nick Mel Streaming, and TikTok, Nick Mel 11. I'll see you guys on over there.
This is Dr. Flo. This is a damn podcast. This is Flo. Let's get into it. Dr. Flo, let's have a great podcast.
What's up, y'all? It's Leo. I've been on this podcast before. Y'all already know I don't got much to plug as of yet, but I'm gonna work on that in the coming weeks. I'm trying to increase my digital footprint and get some type of online presence, but that's all I got for now.
What's up, everybody? This is Ali Baba. Again, I'm here with the games, anime, and Marvel.
And this is Mike, as you well know, a Draw Fitness Lifestyle. If you're into fitness, everyday content surrounding words of affirmation through your favorite anime, DC, or even Marvel characters. If you want to find out any food content or food hacks that you can have here at your busy lives or weeks, or even calorie deficit or calorie surplus meal plans, they can mention me about page on my channel as well. I do go in depth in more into fitness, but today I do talk about as far as DC as well as anime news. And without further say, let's get into it.
All right. So, first of all, you already know. How you guys doing?
Same old, usual.
Same shit, different day.
Doing good.
I'm doing great.
All right. Nick, start us off.
Absolutely. So one of our recent podcasts, I made a little goof, and I want to update and correct myself. So we were talking about Borderlands and Take-Two's new end-user licensing agreement that they've just recently updated. There was a lot of fears and concerns circulating around, and I may have misreported. What I had originally talked about was that Borderlands might have an anti-cheat installed that would effectively allow Ring Zero access into your computer. Now, while yes, there are some anti-cheat out there that does in fact do this, from what I've been hearing, Borderlands does not have that. At least not that anybody is aware of yet. But it seems that Take-Two's new end-user agreement that everyone was flipping out about, essentially, it was a generalization for legal documentation. So effectively, it's the kind of shit that Nintendo essentially pulled, sort of like, hey, we're just going to cover our asses, essentially, with the legal system. On top of that, even though there is some more broad terminologies used for like mods and other things like that, it's not really likely that they're going to go attacking mod developers or anything of this sort. And it does seem like a lot of their clauses were more focused towards their actual multiplayer games like Grand Theft Auto 6 and stuff like that. So a lot of it was just a mix of people concerns and mixed information, unfortunately. So it was overall misinformation. I do apologize for that. I was reporting on information that I had at the time. But anyway, at present, it doesn't seem like Borderlands will have an anti-cheat that we know of. I don't know if they're going to continue using de novo because I believe they used it on Borderlands 3. And the biggest problem with de novo is it does cause some performance issues. So that might be present with Borderlands 4. I don't know yet. But that's just something we're going to have to keep an open ear to. Going on, Deadpool VR was announced. So if you ever want to play Deadpool, the old Deadpool game, it's a new story, different plot, but it's essentially Deadpool in VR. So first-person shooting, you have sword gameplay. There was no announced date yet. Resident Evil Requiem was announced finally, so essentially Resident Evil 9. Release date is expected to be February 27th, 2026. We are playing as a new FBI character who is investigating a murder, and the game will ultimately take us back to Raccoon City after the bombs had fallen. So we're going to be visiting a bombed out Raccoon City, which honestly sounds really fucking cool. Tencent has acquired 15% of Arrowhead. So fans are getting kind of concerned that this might be the start of microtransactions in Helldivers 2, more so than what we already have. So currently we have the war bonds, which are pretty fair. They're kind of just there. But people are fearful that this might lead into something more than that. So we'll see. We have to just wait and see what happens. Sonic Frontiers 2 is in development and slated for release come 2026. Outer Worlds 2 was announced and the release is expected to be October 29th. High on Life 2 was also announced thanks to the Xbox announcements recently. I forgot what their showcase is called. I think it's literally just Xbox Showcase. High on Life 2 was announced coming in the winter of this year. They took on a little bit more of a punk theme to the game, it seems. They did add a bunch of new guns, so it looks interesting enough. Now, as we talked about previously, Xbox did announce there were rumors of a new handheld that's made by Xbox with Republic of Gamers on hand. It was officially announced. There is 2 different models. It'll have impulse triggers. You can download and stream your games, which is awesome in my opinion. One model, the cheaper model, has 16 gigs of RAM and 500 gigs of storage, whereas the more expensive model has 24 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage, which is pretty interesting. Now, if this system does allow for a desktop mode and I can download Steam, Xbox has my money, honestly. I might go for it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Xbox handheld, I'm definitely doing no matter what.
No, I wouldn't, because I'm not really. I used to be, but not really. No.
I don't know. The handhelds ain't for me. Like, I feel like I want to kick back and relax on that game. But maybe it's like you could probably have a stand for it. But like, I like the PC gaming. I like the console. Like, I want to kick back, But like, shout out to PSP though. I know we're talking about Microsoft, but you're saying that you're gonna be able to download Steam off the Microsoft handheld?
Well, no, I'm not saying that we will be able to. I'm saying if this does have a desktop mode to where I can download Steam and I can put my PC games on there on top of my Microsoft games, my Xbox, they got me.
But that would be. Is that rumored? They're rumored to have a desktop?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
So it actually is compatible with it.
It is, really?
Yes, it's compatible with Steam and any other Windows supported game. So you'll be able
tough.
to use that.
Oh, shit.
I just brought a Steam Deck, and now you're talking about we can like.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Well, I mean, I could actually take it back on that. So basically what Xbox is doing is they're doing the Xbox Play Anywhere. That's basically their slogan. And they're double down on that slogan by introducing an Xbox Cloud and Xbox PC. So with Xbox PC and Xbox Cloud, you'll be able to play these games on just about any platform or any device, such as the LAX, which is the ROG LAX for Xbox, and the LA, and also smart devices such as handheld phones, tablets, and smart TVs. So they're basically doubled down on that, where they're not really investing in like another standard console. They're going to go with that handheld and basically doubling down on that Play Anywhere slogan.
See, I kind of called that because I kind of figured that Xbox was kind of pulling away from the console market, because it does seem like their focus is more just selling the games than anything else. But again, if this does have a desktop mode, because there's a reason why desktop matters to me. Not only can I download Steam, if I can install EmuDeck to the system, oh, it's over. This is literally my Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC. It's everything.
I'm afraid to ask, but what's EmuDeck?
EmuDeck is an emulator, or an all-in-one emulator. So essentially, what the program does, at least on Steam Deck or even PC, it installs basically all the above emulators. So PlayStation 2, PS1, Xbox, PSP, Switch, GameCube, the whole nine, literally the whole nine. And effectively, what you can do is it links up with Steam, so that way you can play your Steam games through EmuDeck. You can play your emulator games through Steam. That's what I meant to say. I mixed that up. But if I could do that on the Xbox handheld and still play Steam games and play Xbox games, oh, it's over. I'm buying it.
I don't know about the emulators, but I do know about definitely Steam is definitely allowed.
Gotcha. But anyway, continuing on, Resonance Plague Tale Legacy is coming in 2026. Blood of the Dawnwalker. It's essentially Assassin's Creed, but with vampires. It's set in the medieval period. It's 2026. If I remember correctly, you're like a half vampire kind of thing going on. So it was kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about that personally. I'm not really a medieval type guy, so other than that, Super Meat Boy 3D was announced, and that is slated to come out early 2026. Ninja Gaiden 4 is set to come out October 21st, 2025. Indiana Jones Great Circle Order of the Giants DLC is slated for a September 4th release this year. Beast of Reincarnation it's essentially an artsy hack and slash samurai games coming out in 2026. Clockwork Revolution, it's like a UK steampunk type game where time travel is actually the major mechanic of the game. So if something fucks up, you can actually reverse time and correct yourself. It seemed interesting enough. It's an RPG, but there's no confirmed date yet. Again, that's Clockwork Revolution. So seemed interesting enough. Grounded is getting a sequel. Grounded 2 slated to come out July 29th. Chronos New Dawn, it's a third-person horror shooter. Kind of like Dead Space, is set to come out in fall 2025. Aphelion, it's a space exploration type game. Kind of think like Death Stranding, but in space, basically. 2026 is the release. There's no confirmed date. Now, this one I'm actually interested in. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Mudang Two Hearts. It's a third-person action game. Essentially, the plot is you're playing as a North Korean soldier. North and South Korea have decided to finally reunify as a singular country. You're playing as, like I said, a soldier. However, a terrorist attack occurs in South Korea. And your character ends up coming across a South Korean K-pop star who, for some reason, knows what's going on, and you now have to protect her. The gameplay, from what has been shown, seems very much similar to that of Resident Evil 4 in a sense, where the action sequences, or majority of the game, you're playing as the soldier, but there's going to be some more stealth aspects where you're playing as the girl. So kind of like Leon and Ashley from Resident Evil 4 in a sense. That is set to release come 2026. Planet of Lana 2. It's a side-scroller adventure. Essentially, you're trying to save the world from an alien invasion, but you're like living in a small village kind of deal. It's cutesy. 2026 is another release. Solo Leveling is getting a third-person hack and slash game that supports up to 4-player co-op. That'll be releasing fall 2025. Hirmo, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a third-person. Sorry.
Yeah, apparently the call dropped.
Oh shit! How long ago? Do I have to redo all that?
Nah, just for the last 2 minutes.
Gotcha. Redo the last 2 minutes?
Or you can continue. Technically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, word.
Until when we come back. So.
Gotcha. All right. So going back. Solo Leveling is getting a third-person hack and slash game with 4-player co-op. The release is going to be fall 2025. Hirmo is a third-person Pokemon adventure type game coming out in 2026. Essentially, it seems like you can capture or align somehow with the various monsters and then either become them to solve puzzles or have them fight alongside you. Wondering if Nintendo is going to try Xbox and try to sue them. We'll see what that goes on. Now then. The Switch 2, since its release, has been having a myriad of problems. If it's not their own, it's somebody else. As we know, GameStop fucked up. And if you bought the Switch 2 from GameStop, there's a chance that those rocket scientists decided to staple your receipt on the front of the box, ultimately puncturing your screens. Well, it continues on. Apparently, the Switch 2 is already reported to have drift in the controllers, despite the fact that there's a little cover over the base of the controller to stop dust and stuff going in there, but it's still getting drift. Surprise, surprise. Not surprised with Nintendo. Other than that, it seems like the controllers, even though they're supposed to magnetize and snap into the side of the system, they can kind of be brute forced off the system. So if enough force, you could just kind of yoink it, despite the fact that there's a release. Games are still coded. I mean, granted, this isn't really a bad thing. This was whatever. the games are still coded in the same nasty tasting chemical that the other games were. So if you taste a Switch 2 cartridge, it's going to still taste like shit. Why are you licking them? I don't know. This is mostly for the little kids that want to swallow everything. Other than that, the screen plastic is super easy to scratch. So just be careful with it. Anyway, going on. Black Ops 7 was announced. There's no date as of yet that I could find. The story is very, very trippy from what it seems, or at least what they're advertising. And they're bringing back David Mason and Raul Menendez. So I don't know if we're going to get some kind of continuation of Black Ops 2 or if this is a whole new story. I don't really know, but what I do know is it takes place in the year 2035. So we'll see where that goes. Even though Black Ops 2 took place in 2025, wonder what they're doing 10 years later. I mean, the fact that it's 10 years later, I'm wondering if they're going to do a sequel. So what do you guys think about that?
Sounds interesting that they're continuing the Black Ops theme, or line, I should say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering, though, if they're going to end up continuing the BO2 story or not. But anyway, Ollie, on to you.
Alrighty. Well, piggybacking off of the news that you did earlier about the Xbox, as you all know, Xbox/Microsoft has acquired many studios over their career, and the main concern for many gamers was always, will Xbox do a monopoly and basically force people to be on Windows and Xbox? But as I said before, they are doubling down and doing a thing with their slogan of playing games anywhere. Also, the great news is all the games that they have released or announced on their showcase that just came out on the 8th is going to be able and compatible to be able to be played on the Ally and LAX. And let's see here. That is all that I have for games. And, well, I also have some anime news. In the anime news, Solo Leveling Season 3 release date has been shrouded in mystery. The producers of the anime did that he wanted the show to be released at the same time as the Olympic Games. So as you all may know, the Summer Games do start in 2028, which is a long, long waiting period. What may have slipped under our radar is that the Winter Olympics Games actually start in 2026, which will be a closer release date. And this all depends on the studio's ability to produce the anime at the same quality or better in that set period of time.
And you said this is the Winter Olympic Games for something, or what am I missing?
Okay, so Solo Leveling Season 3
right.
Has already had the official release speculated. So they already officially said that it's going to be a Season 3, but they haven't had a release date as of yet because it takes a long time for the animation. Now, the producer or the author also wanted it to be released during the same time as the Olympic Games. But the most common or popular Olympic Games is the Summer Olympics. So everybody was speculating that it'll be during 2028 when the Summer Olympics are hosted.
Gotcha.
But we always forget about the Winter Olympics, which is actually in 2026. So there's a possibility that the release will be around 2026 instead of 2028, as long as the studio can produce the anime at the same quality in that set period of time.
Do you think you'll keep the same like animation fine style and you release it that very next year?
That's basically what the plan is. And in all honesty, I don't know if you guys remember how quick Solo Leveling Season 1 and Season 2 were apart from each other. And I believe that's because they already worked on 2 while they were working on 1. So it is a huge possibility that they're capable of getting 3 out in that same period of time.
We'll see. Hopefully it's like I can handle maybe 2 years, so like 2027 start time. So yeah, we'll
2028 is pushing, don't you think?
yeah. But I was saying like 2027, I can wait till then.
Yeah. So we're basically waiting for them to let us know when it's going to release. Because once we get that official release date, we'll actually know what's happening. Because, with all the writer strikes and all those things that could possibly happen it could slow it down a little bit. But with the new model that Crunchyroll did produce out for the pay scale for the animes, I think Solo Leveling will actually try to produce their anime at a set or a decent time period.
Is the writer strike still going on, or is this kind of like a hit or miss thing?
No, I didn't say it was still going on. What I'm saying is you never know.
Right, it can happen.
There's strikes happening left and right. Yeah, you never know.
Gotcha.
All right. Coming up in this summer, there is a anime called The Summer Hikaru Dies. It's a dark tale that starts off as a regular day. The main characters are Yoshiki and Hikaru, childhood friends, and they are the only kids in this around the same age in that neighborhood or village. One day, Hikaru goes in the woods and comes back changed. He has the same memories. He still looks the same, but Yoshiku, who's his best friend, knows he's not the same. So Yoshiko is having a hard time pretending that he doesn't care or know until a lot of strange incidences keeps occurring inside the village. Now, that is set to release on July 5th, 2025. How do you guys feel about that?
Sounds interesting enough.
I did look at the recent trailers on this. It was pretty strange. I was thinking about actually giving this actual try just to see what actually happens, because I believe that he did maybe really die and maybe take a mutation form, so to speak, sort of thing. But we'll see.
Is there a trailer for that anime?
It is. There's a trailer for it on Crunchyroll.
All right. Cool. So if anything, what we got to do is come the Thursday podcast. We got to go ahead and definitely show up some trailers.
Most definitely. And then the next one that I have is, the title is Scooped Up by S-Rank Adventure. It's basically an anime that is based in the fantasy world of magic and sports. The main character is named Lloyd, and he's a support mage or a white mage that has recently been kicked out of the Heroes Party for being useless. While jobless, Lloyd is approached by an adventurer to accompany their party on a quest, and the journey begins. This is set to release also on the same day, July 5th, 2025.
All right.
All right. And what do you got? What are your thoughts?
Can't wait for it. I know there's a trailer on that, so I was definitely wanting to kind of get more, I guess, a sneak peek as to what the show really entails. But we'll see.
Okay.
All right, cool.
And then the last piece of news that I have is for Marvel. And with this, Denzel Washington is confirmed by the director of Black Panther 3 to be in the new upcoming film. Fans speculate that he may play a village elder / wise man that is a central figure in Wakanda. Also, the new Black Panther is supposed to be coming from the comic Marvel Knights, The World to Come, which was released on June 4th, 2025. In this comic, T'Challa passes away. As we all know, there's a challenge for the throne if the throne is vacant. Now, this introduces Katima, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Caucasian-looking, claiming to be T'Challa's.
How did he get to Wakanda? How did he get there? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but how did he get there?
Oh, no, you're good. So that's the thing. He claims to be T'Challa's son, and we all know that there has been other people inside of Wakanda before. So it's not like Wakanda is a huge secret. It is like very secretive, but there are CIA and FBI, I think CIA agents that have been there before.
So there's white people in Wakanda?
And you also have Bucky who's been there.
So who's T'Challa messing with? Like, you feel me?
That nobody has claimed that as of yet. And basically his he's supposed to be highly entitled, and also they depict him as being like villainous in nature. So he might be like very, spoiled, like a spoiled brat. So
Deport him.
it is safe to say that he's not looking in the best of light at a character like T'Challa was, but he's more like somebody that's like super entitled. So we're going to see if he's going to be a good thing for Wakanda, or if he might be the villain of Wakanda.
He's like a lot of people nowadays. A lot of our customers.
Deport him. Send him away. He don't belong there. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
What do you guys thought?
Damn, you don't want to try to give him a citizenship or something? Shit.
No, bro. I'm not going for that, bro.
Yo.
How you go? It's literally Black Panther. Like, where does it say White Panther? I'm hating my fault. Like, I'm not sure. I'm okay with diversity there. But like, how come every time? I feel like we don't deserve a little outrage every time, they don't put they like, oh, why Shorty play, Halle Bailey? Like, can we get a little outrage too? Just some slight trolling, whatever. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was just gonna say that, like, I don't particularly like the idea at all of a white Black Panther, but it just sounded even worse when you said entitled and like spoiled, and like, I don't know. I just feel like that's not Black Panther. But
well, so here's the thing.
The
way it sounds to me with this character is that it's not meant to be a long-term thing. First of all, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like this might just come off as like initially, this is gonna be like someone that's trying to take the throne, thing like, oh hey, I'm definitely his son, so totally just let me, go for it. And then they're going to end up knocking him off at some point, and then T'Challa's going to take it back over. Because I really don't think they're going to keep him as an entitled, spoiled little shit, unless this is going to be kind of like a Tony Stark thing where he's going to be an asshole at first, but then kind of adapt and grow and become a better person over time. So it could be part of the hero's journey. That's possible.
I feel like anyone who wants the throne is a little bit entitled. Look at Killmonger in the first movie, bro. He felt entitled to the throne.
Yeah.
Like you said, he was like, that's my shit.
Hey,
like,
auntie.
Yeah, like, so yeah.
And you know what? I'm interested in seeing how they do it. And like I said, the comic has been released, the first iteration of it. And that was on June 4th. So if you guys want to get some more source material, you can definitely go there and figure out what they're planning on doing with that guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how everyone's going to react to it going forward.
Yeah, especially when they cast the dude they've been putting in memes, Ryan Gosling. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, he looks exactly like the character, in all honesty, and that's why the speculation's up there.
A lot of times, these memes become actual like canon, like Super Saiyan Shaggy, Things like that actually became actual canon type stuff. So,
True. Enough fans ask for it, it'll happen.
Yeah. So now let's actually get it into a new segment. Let's actually go into Would You Rather D.A.M edition. All right. So in Would You Rather D.A.M edition, it's kind of self-explanatory. We're gonna do Would You Rather, but D.A.M podcast edition. All right. So let's actually kick it off, and I'm actually going to do a gaming one first. All right. So, would you rather play a game where permadeath is enabled for everything? Yeah, I know what permadeath is.
Of course.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Or play games with no challenge whatsoever, where you're invincible, but all sense of accomplishment is removed.
What?
Permadeath.
Why? Yeah, permadeath. What the fuck?
Yeah, permadeath.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I like my games sometimes where it's a kind of a power fantasy, but to a degree, because the power fantasy comes from there being some level of challenge still. Like, for example, there's a VR game that I actually want to start getting into called Hard Bullet. And it's kind of like Boneworks in a way where there's a lot more physics based. And some of the videos I see people doing are pretty fucking wild. You can go do some John Wick shit, grab a gun out of somebody's hand, cock it, blow him away, grab onto a chandelier, swing across the fucking room and blow away through other guys. Mm-hmm. It looks fun though, but granted, you can still die. But granted, the AI is kind of made to be stupid because it's meant to have that whole fast paced. Hey, just gonna blow everybody away.
You're right.
You know, you're trolling, right?
I use keywords.
Like you, all right. The second time I was gonna let it slide, but come on, all right, I get it. It sounds like a fun game. No, like real shit though. That's how fun. Like so, yeah, bro. I would say permadeath.
But what is it?
I like to have a little challenge with the game, so I don't.
He died and he's gone. Like he can't come back.
Yeah, need a little sense of challenge. Like, yeah.
So y'all talking about if you were playing the game like 2K and goddamn, as soon as you lost, your career over with.
That's different though. That's not. You can't have
That would be interesting though.
You can't have
Your
permadeath.
career over, bro. That's permadeath in 2K.
But you can't have permadeath in 2K. That doesn't make sense.
Perma career death.
Why are you dying in a basketball game, bro? That doesn't make sense, bro. There's games where it doesn't make sense. But I feel like if you mean like RPG, like even like some games where dying is maybe a little easy, like Ninja Gaiden. Okay, with the permadeath shit, is there? Oh, okay. I got a question for you. With the permadeath shit, is there still difficulties to the game? Could you select easy through difficult, or is it just hard permadeath? Like, is the game hard? But yeah, like you know,
That's a good point.
That's what. Yeah, you didn't like if there's an easy mode, but there's still permadeath. Like you just got to restart the whole game.
It just said where every decision is critical, but you progress is agonizingly slow. So you know,
I think it's on hard.
yeah.
On the flip side, though, like if we're talking sports games, I would actually rather be invincible. I'd rather be hitting every 3, fucking shooting full court shots, and hitting all that shit. But like in a combat game, I'm trying to have in a combat game.
Sports game, I would definitely like have no challenges.
There's got to be a challenge, bro.
Combat game, though.
Bro, the funnest,
You have a lot of
funnest is, I feel like one of the most fun parts about video games is having a skill gap. Like I'm not going to when you play just basic game Call of Duty. Like when you're shitting on somebody, you're like, I'm better than them. Like you feel me? You just turn on somebody, you're like, oh, I'm better than you. I just shit on you. Like you feel me? So it's kind of fun to know that you're better than some people, and sometimes you might get fried. Sometimes a motherfucker might just come around, just like blitz you. So it's like, all right, he's better than me. He kind of got that. Like I used to play UFC 3 competitive, bro. So that one is like it's a straight one-on-one, straight hands. That shit felt personal. Only controller I ever broke was playing UFC 3. I'm not gonna lie, shit felt real personal. But yeah.
That's why I say I
what's
think
the next
that's a good question because you got a lot of games that are that way where they're like your accomplishment really don't really matter. Like you said, Call of Duty or like Apex. Like your accomplishment for like rank matters, but like playing the game is just playing the game. So like it's still fun.
All right. I got a question for y'all. We about to go into an anime world. All right. Would you guys rather live in an isekai world where you are the most powerful beings? All right. But you are perpetually bored and unable to find any meaningful challenge or connection. I guess like Beerus or something, right? Or live in an isekai world where you are the weakest and constantly in danger, but you find deep camaraderie and profound purpose through struggle.
Why'd I feel like a remix of the last question, bro? Like just a remix, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Anyway,
like
Yeah, that's what I'm taking all power.
Nah, bro. Let me be a god. I'd rather be bored with that power, bro. Because, bro, if you have like, you feel me? How bored could I really be? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like how bored could you really? You said I'm a god, bro. Like, I'll be bored, but like. You know what I'm saying? That one Palomar character, he said, she should go get scary. You like, yeah, I'd rather be bored with hella power. Like, fuck, I look like grinding through the struggle. That's what niggas do through. That's what niggas do in real life. You think, I seen some shit where some dude, he was some dude on TikTok. He posted he made a fake like boxing career. He was like, oh, in my first fight I lost or whatever, but it was just an AI picture of a fight. So they're like, how are you losing your own fantasy? So like that's what I'm thinking about. Like I'm like, why would I want to lose it? I'd rather be bored. Like, you feel me? Yeah, bro.
You're not wrong, but if there's a chance for progression,
fuck that.
Then I'd probably go for the other option, honestly, because then at that point, if you can progress and become stronger, then not only are you not bored, but you're the one that inevitably will be dominating everybody else.
That's fair. Fair point. Real shit. Bro, I'm not doing that. It's a fake world, bro. No,
Yeah,
I'm still taking all power.
exactly.
I'll be OP.
Yeah, bro. I feel like every human has a little thing in their head where they're like, what would it be like to be like a god for the day? Like you just control everything. Like you never had that thought before. Y'all never watched Bruce Almighty, where God was like he just gave it to him. But then he wasn't bored because he had all the problems in the world. Yeah.
He also caused a lot of problems.
He definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, he really did. He really did.
All right.
But I'll take progression over everything. I always, and that's what my content is. And as far as if you're bored, well, I mean, there's only so much you can do besides give that same power and drive. If you're not doing that, well, I guess I'd rather just get progression to the point where I can become bored and look back to where I was having fun during the struggle, during the race of me becoming powerful.
Look, bro, I love that real world
That does sound like Fairy Tail, the anime. I ain't gonna lie. Huh? It's more like Fairy Tail, the anime.
But that's like more a power of friendship. This is more like the power of struggle.
Exactly.
But no, but he's talking about the power of struggle. Like, you feel me? Right? Or
building the power of friendship. Because them niggas was struggling.
Power of friendship, but I mean, they could do that too. Growing connections as well as growing power as well. Because knowledge is power, but so is connections as well.
I mean, what if he's just bored because he's done it over and over again? He's immortal. I mean, he's built the relationships with many people. He's built the camaraderie. He's just that strong and immortal. So I mean, he does have everything that you're talking about. It's just he's done it like 200 times.
Okay.
You like Ace Slater say, piggyback on what your character mentioned about Beerus. I mean, was his life really eventful before or after he met Goku and the others?
That's true.
I mean, but he does have all power though, and he still met Goku. He's still bored, but he still get to fight with Goku and he gets to eat all that good food that he never had before. So he's still getting new experience.
Again, that's connections. Connections.
Yeah, but he's still bored though. So you still get connections. Like you can still get connections and be bored.
I mean, if he wants a good fight or even a good meal at that same day or in that same week, you can just travel to Earth and be like, I want to spar and I also want to train. And who's to handle that kind of feat but the Saiyans?
Yeah, but at the same time, he also doesn't exert all of his force when he fights against Goku.
All right. So look, that needless to say, that's not a question because y'all going into it. All right, so all right, look, we're gonna go to the next one, okay? Keep that for Thursday. Yeah, I like the energy though. Keep that for Thursday. But look, all right. Would you rather all anime use be incredibly detailed, high budget animation, but their storytelling is universally generic, or have consistently mediocre animation, but every anime has groundbreaking, unique plot?
I feel like the plot is what
animation.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the plot is what ultimately is going to make you forgive the artwork, essentially. So, and even in some shows, the artwork is kind of meh.
That's true.
But the story is great. Like if I'm still watching the Gundam series, like the OG Gundam,
Right.
and nowadays comparatively, the art is kind of meh. But the story is interesting enough as it is to keep me wanting to watch.
Right.
And like, how bad is bad? Like I said, like he said, the animation doesn't really carry the story. Like I like the Fable, like the one I saw a couple weeks ago or whatever. Like the animation is subpar at best, but I really like the story, the characters. So I feel like that carried the show. And sometimes I feel like even if the animation is, even though considered bad or outdated, like if you watch a show like anime like Trigun, like that's an old anime, but that's goated. Like if you but I feel like that style that's timeless though. Like, but maybe watching you get a little nostalgia. But I say plot carries though. And how bad is bad? Like, what's your like description of bad animation?
Like I agree. I'll take plot over.
Oh, what'd you say?
I'll take plot because, like, I don't know if anybody remembers the sorrows of us One Piece fans when it first came out, and like basically all the way up until Dressrosa. One Piece animation was very inconsistent. It didn't match the manga. The proportions of the characters always changed, and the artwork wasn't up to par. for as big of a title and as big of a name as One Piece. It just wasn't what it was supposed to be. But at the same time, we still love it because of the story.
All right.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. I'm not gonna lie. I was reviewing a lot of our old clips and stuff, and we're talking about this a lot. Would you guys rather all future games be free to play with extensive cosmetic microtransactions, or cost $100 and up front? Oh wait. Let me go ahead and reiterate this: $100 and up front, but contain absolutely no additional purchases ever.
That depends on the game. That depends entirely on the game. So it depends. If we're talking a single player game and it's story based, maybe little aspects of co-op, and that's really it, like Resident Evil essentially, where it's a one shot thing, then I'm okay with paying for it essentially, because it's like, all right, it's one and done. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if it's a multiplayer game like Helldivers, I'm not entirely against the idea of it being free to play, because there's always content coming out. There's always something new coming out. So having to, constantly pay for everything that's coming out, because if they did like Helldivers 2, Helldivers 3, Helldivers 4, and it's always multiplayer, and it's always, you're paying that $100 shot every time, that kind of sucks. Whereas if they make one just monster game free to play, and every now and then their way of making money is just microtransaction cosmetics, nothing crazy that disproportionately balances the game, rather it's just cosmetics, I could be okay with that. Again, it just depends on the game. I feel like for some games it'll work, some games it doesn't, because they are technically already doing that nowadays with some games. It's just, again, some games will work better than others. It depends.
So, I agree, obviously, but I think the premise of the question is: would you rather all? Like, you don't get to pick and choose; you got to choose all or nothing. And it definitely does depend on the game, because if it's sports games, yeah, I'm trying to have those be free, like sports games or Call of Duties or something that comes out every year. Yeah, I'm trying to have those be free to play with microtransactions, optional, whatever. But something GTA, I'll pay the money up front. I don't care. Just give me everything that this should come with.
Oh, GTA especially.
Some other, yeah.
Oh, GTA especially. If I'm paying $100, you better not have fucking shark cards in that goddamn game.
Y'all definitely picking and choosing though. But like, if you had to choose one right now, and you say, yeah,
I think free. I'm going with free all.
Yeah,
I'm going free all.
But see, I want y'all to note something. If you all say free, this is the direction that they're going in right now, and you guys are complaining about it.
What was the other choice?
Yeah.
Oh, like $100 up front, and them not like charging you nothing.
Oh, but what's the price lock guarantee on that $100?
Meaning it could be 100.
Right there, Rich Ballot.
It can move. I would like to know what the DLC price is.
You know what I mean? So generally speaking, it could go up. Like it could be 100, 150 or whatever. You just got to pay that, and then they give you whatever.
Just because the game is free to play doesn't mean they couldn't release sequels. Like in another 5 years, they release another free to play game,
or even
more cosmetics. Because then
that would be the microtransaction. The sequel. Wait, the sequel would be the microtransaction?
Yeah, bro. Because
Overwatch 2.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like something like that. Overwatch 2 really a different game, but it was free.
Not really.
Yeah, it was free.
It's still free to play, but it was not really a new game. It's just, hey, it's a prettier coat of paint.
The only shit that was sad wasn't a lot of people lost their skins, right?
That's about it.
There's newer, yeah.
But then it was the OG skins.
Yeah, they brought back the OG skins. Yeah.
But if you had the OG skins in the first game, they didn't carry over.
I think they did. I don't remember if they did or they didn't.
All right.
Okay, wait a minute. I got another question for y'all real quick. And this is actually about the gaming PCs and not the gaming PCs, the gaming that you just talked about a minute ago. Would you rather all gaming PCs cease to exist, with all games moving exclusively to PC, or have PC completely die out with all games moving completely to console?
PC.
Wait. I'm confused on that one. So wait, the PCs, the machine themselves, no longer a thing, but all the games go to PC?
Basically, all the PC games don't exist anymore. They just basically port to the consoles in one option, or the opposite happens. Like no more consoles.
So either all go PC or all go console.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not even possible. Like,
but screw this is possible. Not that's not the question.
Right.
It's like which one you gonna use type.
That's hard because the problem is it still comes down to that issue of ownership. That's where my biggest concern comes from. Granted, hold
on.
Again, the whole.
Call Leo again. Hold up. All right, there we go.
In all honesty, I would choose PC. The reason being is because you can always use a controller on PC, and it's very, very hard to like hook up your mouse and keyboard to like a console. So you can always use a controller on the PC, and the specs on the PC is higher. So I'll choose PC.
Going into what I was saying,
yeah, and then you can do like a lot of mods and other special effects that
right.
you swear up and down we can't do on consoles.
Well, my concern is also ownership, right? At least with some console games now at this point, when you get the disc, you actually own the game to a degree. On PC, it's kind of hit or miss because it's all download. So that's my concern. I know Steam is working in regards to making customers more and more aware of that fact that you don't actually own your game. And far as I've heard, I haven't heard Steam pulling games from libraries. So good on them. But honestly, they've been very pro-consumer. God forbid something happens to Gabe Newell. Who knows where Steam is going to go when someone else takes over. So, I mean, I definitely am going to say that I support PC. But my concern is just generally ownership, honestly.
All right, this is what I can tell you. Let me see. Wait, is Leo not on the call anymore? Oh, because it just
No, he said disconnected.
I thought it just.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah,
okay.
hear me?
Okay, there you go. Everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Would you rather every game studio exclusively make sequels and remakes of beloved franchises, guaranteeing familiarity, or exclusively make brand new untested IPs, risking constant financial failures?
Taking risks.
Damn, that's crazy.
Easy. Taking risks.
Brand new.
Because the reason why I say taking risk is because nowadays, like, don't get me wrong, I love our remake. Well, okay, correction. I love some of our remakes. Resident Evil 2 remake was fantastic. Resident Evil 3 was missing a lot of content. So remakes can be hit or miss. Even the Destroy All Humans remakes were fantastic. But they're remakes. Some games, like Freedom Fighters, right? I've talked about it on the channel. The game ended on a cliffhanger and there was no sequel. We need sequels. We need new games. We need new IPs. We need new things trying out. People gave a lot of shit to Death Stranding, calling it a walking simulator, but you know what? They took risks. They tried something different. So that's why I love Death Stranding, because it was something different. So I say take risks.
Yeah, risk takers. Take the risk. Like, bro, how you gonna experience something new for the first time if they never wanted to release nothing new? And how many remakes could you do before you start making remakes and remakes?
Exactly.
All right. So we're gonna go over to Marvel real quick. Would you rather every future Marvel movie be a direct adaptation of a beloved comic storyline, making them predictable, or have every movie be completely original and defy expectations, risking alienating longtime comic fans?
I think that depends. So here's the thing. If they do it the like kind of Robert Kirkman way, where they did with The Walking Dead, where we have the same basic principle, the same established rules, but it's more of like, if it like, so to give some context, when The Walking Dead show came out after the fact of the comics, Robert Kirkman effectively treated the show as kind of his what if, right? So in the comic books, Rick ends up losing his arm. In the show, he didn't lose his arm. Actually, somebody, if I remember correctly, somebody else did. On top of that too, when Negan was introduced, other characters like Glenn and Abraham were killed off, whereas in the comics they weren't.
But that's plenty of things technically do that as well too. Like they kind of stray just so they don't bore the audience per se.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends because in some cases, like I said, the direct, if it's the original guy, I mean, if possible, of course, if it's the original guy who's making the adaptation, and he's like, and he literally says like, I'm doing something a little different because I want to see, I want to play it out a little differently.
What's it called? Game of Thrones.
Oh, they did the same thing.
Yeah.
I personally never watched Game of Thrones.
they
So.
did.
The boys.
Oh, The Boys. You're right. Exactly. So it's more common than you think. It's just
We're entirely
especially with the
we're
character.
entirely used to a blend of both. So,
Right,
Like,
so-
Right.
Either one of those options is very, very different from what we actually get.
The only
That both of them would be crazy.
The only time that I have a problem with adaptations is when it strays too far from the source material. Like, I don't mind them making alterations in order as like a what if. Like, what if this decision was different? What if the character took a different route? How does that kind of alter the flow essentially? And how do other characters interact with that? That's not a terrible idea. It depends.
But there's
But-
my fault. Go ahead.
But if we take, again, if we have something that's so far from the original source material, it's almost not even the same thing, then that's when I have a problem. Like, take, for example, the Resident Evil live actions. They've, on a number of occasions, strayed so far from the originality of it, you feel like it's almost new and not even what it was supposed to be. It's like, you're advertising Resident Evil, but instead I'm getting fucking, House of the Dead. That's not the same thing. So what the fuck? So I think it depends.
Yeah, the only game, the only content I think from the source that they actually put in live action that has really been down as far as rating wise for viewership is only that I've seen is Last of Us. Mm-hmm. Which,
That shit is trash.
I'm sure it's pretty close to the source material.
yeah, it's real close to the source material, but fans still do not like it to this day.
I know they're also not happy with the main actress.
all
I
right.
think I would wind up choosing the fucking completely down to the source material, to be honest, because they could always make new comics or new games. Like The Last of Us could get another game. I don't know, but
It's just as long as you do it like you're
new
supposed
comics. Yeah, exactly. Because I don't care if to see every single comic panel perfectly translated into live action, but as long as all the main plot points, bro. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I want to see the actual death of Gwen Stacy. We've seen it in Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I just didn't like how it almost seemed like he didn't get her in time, whereas in the comics he straight up he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have webbed her the way he did. Him catching her like that just broke her back, and it was partially his fault as well. But I just want to see shit those main points exactly as the source material, and then they could always change that. They could always make new characters, and all that.
So here's my point. I think I said this before about the Lilo and Stitch. I do want to see new content, what ifs. But if you get a title that says if you're gonna do a live action title of basically Lilo and Stitch, we want to see that same source material, and then you can branch off in that universe and do a different title. Then you have a whole different story that you can do, which nobody has to complain on. My only complaint is when you have the title, you have the source material, you have the script already, and you go and do something way off left field. Now, granted, I do want to see some differences. I understand you don't want it carbon copied, like Leo said. He wants the main points to be realized. Just like how in Lilo and Stitch they said that basically her sister gave her away to CPS. Ohana means family. Since when did we give people away to CPS?
Ohana means family up until the government gets involved.
Yeah, what? That's the only problem that I have is when you stray too far away from, they said, stray too far away from the source material. But like I said again, if you do the source material originally, that original title, and then branch off from it, completely fine with that. As long as you got a different title, like Lilo and Stitch, unload it. Cool. That's something else. I don't care. I want to see what you do. Right. But if you do Lilo and Stitch, I want to see Lilo and Stitch.
I think it's what kind of fans or even children kind of really care about the most versus is originality, because, and so far what I've seen in the comments or what I've reviewed is not being anything like the original.
All right, so I want to get y'all some a little harder ones real quick. These are kind of focused on what you were doing before or saying before. So you're kind of come a little preloaded with answers you said before a little bit. But now I'm gonna get y'all a little bit. Let's start it back with Marvel though. Would y'all rather gain the powers of your favorite Marvel hero, but every time you use it, the powers of them, and you have to use a person with powers, so no person with tech abilities, you lose the memory of your closest loved one.
What? Nah.
Right.
I'm chilling, bro.
Or never gain powers, but your loved one gains a chronic painful illness that only you can alleviate by dedicating your entire life to their care.
What? Bro, that's what the
That's
fuck.
insane.
That's super extreme. What the fuck?
Yeah, okay, so you said okay,
The first one. I'm
wait, hold
choosing
on.
the first
The
one.
first one. Listen, he said I don't have to use the power. He said every time I use it. And how many times can I lose a memory? So
Yes,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Facts.
I'm gonna get the power and just never fucking use it and just live my life normally,
Facts.
bro.
Really, you gonna get a power and never use it?
Yes, bro.
Here's the thing.
Because I love my mom. What are you talking about, bro?
You have to use the power. That's the thing.
Yo, what's wrong with
You
you,
cannot
bro?
not use the power.
So here's my thing. I think I'm with Flo on this one. I think I'm gonna get the powers. Here's my problem. I'm already retarded as it is. I forget things. I forgot yesterday already, so I'm not losing much. I'm good.
But your closest loved one, so it doesn't just start with, does it just keep going from closest to farthest? Eventually, it's going to forget everybody. What?
After the first person go, you're going to have a next closest loved one.
That's what I'm saying. So anything.
I probably already forgot that one too.
So you're like, but that's weird, bro. Because you can't forget those people. They're integral to your life. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
No, yeah, I can't. You can't. If you got a power that literally like is taking you over you or something, then bro, after
that's wild.
it might start its memories.
Because then you're gonna be like, it's gonna if they were an integral part of your life, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna have to.
Man is talking about the realisticness of forgetting. I love the one, bro. We're talking about flying, bro.
My
You
fault,
forget them if you fly.
He's talking about a real life scenario. So in real life, I'm gonna have to forget other stuff too. Like,
But so realistically, if it was to happen, it would probably be like events at first. So you're probably missing when she rode like a bike with you at first or something, you know?
Right.
Like this and that. And then like with use, you would over time lose it. So I know you would use it a couple times for sure.
I just lose a random memory of them, just some shit we did.
And then like it would add up over time, obviously. But like,
all right, then I'm
Here's
taking
the
the
cheat.
first one then.
Here's a cheat.
Yeah.
Write down the memory in a notebook.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Just anytime I do
you
something,
talking like the movie,
basically.
like that movie, like.
yeah.
Can't forget it if it's written
In other
down.
words, these folks using the hell out of the power, bro.
There you go.
Said they
bro.
about to use it.
Just write it down in a journal, and that way you always know, no matter what, that the memories are in there.
That's a little flawed. I think number one is too easy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
So I'm going with number 2.
What?
Reason being, I basically already lived that life. So like, yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, if you're someone like Franklin Richards, for example, or like the son of the Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic, man, you can create many universes and create new memories. And if you have telepathy powers, oh boy, you can just implant those memories.
Exactly. So like, the first
You can OP at that point.
Shit. I mean, you could kind of, you can remember. Hopefully, you remember this shit. Oh yeah, but again, no, it's in your mind, bro. The hell how you gonna implant those memories if you forget them?
Well, if I forget what, hey, jot them down to the other person. They help you remember.
Ain't no USB drive. Okay, all right, but anyway, all right, let's go to the next one then. So yeah, I was talking about that's too easy. Okay, cool. So let's hit into a little DC then. All right. Would you rather be gifted Batman's intellect and resources, but you must completely isolate yourself from all personal relationships and live a life consumed by vigilantism?
So be Batman.
No. Batman had hobbies, bro. Batman had hobbies. Okay.
Or
Basically, you're Batman the Hermit.
Would I rather be Batman or who?
or live a normal life with deep connections, but you are forced to witness preventable tragedies in your city without the power to intervene.
I mean, we live in New York. That happens.
That's already there. We're there. We're already there.
fucking weak. He said, would you rather be Batman or be you? I'm gonna be Batman, bro. Give me Batman any day.
So the short summary is, in short, do you want to be Batman with no life and you're basically a fucking hermit, or live in New York City? We're already there, so I think we've already got our answer.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. You're literally strictly vigilante. What did he say?
Vigilante.
Because I love and respect you all, I'm gonna take one for the team, and I'm gonna be Batman because I fucking take one, and I'm gonna be Batman.
But you gotta realize, bro. You're just Batman. Batman was Bruce Wayne, bro. You have Bruce Wayne's money, but you're just you never take. No, but he said you gotta dedicate your life to just being a vigilante.
Yeah.
You just you're straight, just fighting criminals all the time. You still have the money, but you have to use that money to fight criminals all the time. Batman went to fucking soirees. Batman pulled bat bitches. Bro, you feel me? Batman but that wasn't Batman. That was Bruce Wayne, bro.
That's part of it, though.
No,
I'm gonna listen.
He's saying you have to be Batman, but you.
I gotta be an undercover spy. You go run in the post. Hey, bro, I'm doing that.
Bro, that doesn't count, bro.
Yeah, so,
you can't.
So you gotta be. So basically, you gotta be Batman without the Playboy part.
Exactly.
You gotta just be Batman all the time, and I'm gonna still be that. I'm still choose that.
Not only that, to add on to what Flo says, just to kind of add on to that too. Remember, you're a vigilante. You're doing something that's technically illegal, so that means the police are still going to be on your ass too.
But you got the Batmobile. You're chilling, bro.
Still, but you got society against you, and you're alone.
They can't catch Batman.
They can't catch Batman, but I'm still saying that nobody wants them.
Bro, but like
legally at least.
So what's the rules to being a hermit? Like, what can I get away with vigilante?
Nothing.
I think you probably like, ooh, ain't gonna lie.
So 12 hours a night, I'm vigilanting. Sun comes up, I'm back in the crib, I'm sleeping, and I'm just waiting. I can't do nothing else. Like
you just chilling by yourself at all. Like you probably watching anime throughout the day. You feel me? Like, you know.
But I can't have no person. I can't have no connect because you go crazy. Don't you need? I need at least a butler.
Yeah,
but
hermits literally like by themselves all the time, bro.
You can still be
you'll have plenty of human interaction when you're beating the fuck out of someone.
You can.
Like, how many girls are actually like personal these days?
There's no personal days. You're straight.
I would definitely be Batman,
bro. You're Batman. You're Batman 12 hours a night. 12.
All that money,
bro. It's like you're playing Gotham Knights low key. Like you gotta be Batman that whole night, and then when you go back, bro, you go. You know,
Leo. Let me put it like this, bro. No matter how much you love your job, you're still gonna want an off day, bro. Like, you feel me?
True that.
That's what I'm saying. No matter how much.
Bro, you know me. You already know me. If I'm Batman, I'm staying out long here 24/7. Yo, there will be crime rate will be 0%. Bro. People will start doing good deeds, bro. Like,
so you're gonna be out in the sun too. You're gonna be just saying, like, you don't even blend in anymore, bro.
People are gonna see me.
You don't blend in anymore, though. So what's the point of coming outside, bro? Like, you feel me? You in the sun.
See, here's my thought too on that matter. If the only human interaction you have is beating the shit out of people, you're gonna start going a little crazy. If anything, you go from being Batman to the Punisher.
Oh,
yeah, while you're isolated, you still can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's different Batmans.
You can be isolated and relaxed though. So like, even though I can't be having personal relationships, I could still on my off time just be watching a movie, watching Netflix. Whatever.
Yeah, y'all know how Rafiki was in Lion King? The monkey. That's basically a hermit.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
You feel me? That's the example of a hermit. How he chilled by himself.
Anything about being a hermit?
Yeah, I did.
I feel like
you gotta be isolated. You gotta be isolated.
Well, I didn't necessarily say hermit, but I said you're by yourself.
That is what a hermit is. You're by yourself. Yeah. You're isolated. You're by.
You said no personal connection. Like
that's a hermit. No personal. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's like a deep connection. You can still have connections.
Google
there's
it.
Still people that are obsessed with you that don't really want to be with you. Like celebrities have friends that are not friends all the time.
No, but hell no. Hermit don't have no damn friends that ain't no friends. Like they was by himself.
You never said hermit. You said no personal connection.
No,
yeah, exactly. So no personal connections. Like
that's
you can't have.
Like I said, celebrities have friends that are not really their friends.
Hold on, I got this. I got this. A hermit is a person who lives in solitude, often for religious reasons.
I know what a hermit
They
is.
typically withdraw from society and live a life of prayer. Usually it's a religious thing. They live in solitude, withdrawal from society.
That's basically everything I said in my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually a hermit thing
the
is-
question is,
You never said hermit though. Like you can still have those things and not be a hermit.
Someone checking editing.
no, but like the question is, if you can't have no personal relationships, like you cannot talk to nobody, are you going to be Batman or are you going to be a normal person?
No, you're Batman.
When you do vigilante,
You're Batman, but you have to.
Well, like talk to people personally. I mean, like try to make
that's what I'm
friends
saying.
and hang out.
Fake relationships. Like what are you talking about?
No.
You know, hold on. How about this? How about this? In the comment section, why don't you guys break up the argument? What do you think? Do you think you can still? What was the argument exactly? Be a hermit without having interactions. What do you guys think?
Repeat the question.
No,
We'll do
you
a
said
fact.
hermit. That's a different story. But you just said not personal.
No, did he
You
say
can have super
I guess he's talking about the personal part, and I did say personal relationships. So if you want to like break down the personal part, then
No, but you said
can do
devote your
that.
life to solitude. That was in the shit too. You said devote your life to you have to live in
Yeah,
solitude.
You gotta be isolated.
That's what I'm saying. So
The
solitude.
only word I remember is
yeah,
isolated.
I said so. Word for word, I said. So word for word, I said, would you rather be gifted Batman's intellect and resources, but you must completely isolate yourself from all personal relationships and live life consumed by vigilantism?
Oh, my son did not say solitude. I'm
Yeah, I guess. I guess. Yeah, I guess you could. I see how you interpreted it that way. Like you could talk to people generally, but like not. So you can't hang out with no one though. You can't
That's what I'm saying. I don't
progress
know what that is.
relationships.
Vigilantism don't recall that you can't do that. You
Y'all
know?
already know my answer. I'm gonna be Batman.
But that shit get boring, bro. And how long can you be Batman for? You gonna be 40? You gonna be like, where the fuck is my wife? Where the fuck is my kid? I'm tired of being people
I'm
like,
gonna be
bro. You gonna be
I'm gonna be crying in the
bro.
bins. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
You gonna start talking to the criminals, bro. Like you gonna start talking to them while being up, talking about, man, bro. I'm tired of this.
Yo,
bro.
you're gonna have this guy bleeding on the floor in handcuffs. So, how you doing today?
Bro, you're gonna get bored eventually. We just talked about being bored and like doing the same. I don't care. I'm Batman. I got all this money in the world, but I have to devote my life to just, like I said, there's gotta be a comic where Batman takes an off day. Somebody find me a comic where Batman takes a vacation or something like that, bro. You feel me? I'm gonna Google that.
That's not a Batman comic,
Bro.
That happens off panel, off the
All
comic.
right. So next question for y'all as well too. While y'all think of that one, okay? Would you rather permanently delete all your social media accounts and never interact with the online gaming community again, or be forced to spend 4 hours a day engaging with the most toxic corners of the gaming forums and chats? For you, those of y'all that don't have social media, I don't want y'all to answer because y'all already did it doing that.
I don't have social media for real, but I'll tell Tate the most toxic.
You say he'll go there. I don't know about that one. That's kind of
Wait, can you still play online
No.
multiplayer games? Can you still play online multiplayer games?
No, you can't play any games.
Damn, the first option, you can't play no games.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat
no.
that question, please?
No. Technically, it said you can never interact with the online gaming community.
Community, yeah. So like that's just social media.
But interacting with them is playing the games, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
playing the
does
game.
that mean
is-
multiplayer chat?
Yeah,
Multiplayer chat though, right? I can't chat in multiplayer.
yeah.
You
Or
can only
Xbox
play-
Live Party or
No, you can't
Discord
talk to
chat.
nobody
I can't do
basically.
that.
Does party count?
I mean, I'm
You
doing
only
solo
play-
games.
you only play
so
solo
I guess
player
I'll
Never
get
interact
first.
with the online gaming community. Period.
Man, what was the
You
other
can
one?
only play solo player
It's
games.
like you're a secret.
What was the other option?
Or be forced to spend 4 hours a day engaging with the most toxic corners of the gaming forum.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd rather play in peace.
Like you,
Yeah, bro, I'll troll.
engaging is
What you
Yeah,
talking about?
bro. I'm gonna
He said,
be.
"I'll troll."
That's what I'm saying.
I'll troll all
4
day.
hours.
4
bro?
hours?
4
No,
hours.
listen,
That's
this is the-
light. I'm looking at some
That's a
tweets.
light.
this is the way I look at it. As somebody,
You already know.
Have you played Call of Duty?
Listen,
CS:GO.
as somebody who works in retail and has to deal with the public and deal with toxic assholes as it is,
Facts.
I don't go to play video games to deal with more toxic assholes. I go to play video games for stress relief to just,
But you run into them, don't you?
So you rather be solitude? You play like single player shit? Like you play more single player?
No, I actually do play more single player.
Yeah, but I-
single player, co-op, or simulator.
Like, what you talking about?
Yo, let me tell you something.
I couldn't
There is a
play-
game coming out, and I'm hyped for it, called Game Stunk Simulator. It's basically supposed to be GameStop. And one of the items you get is a baseball bat, and when someone steals from your store, you can go up and fucking wail on them. And you get your shit back that way. I love that. Do you know how many times I've seen people steal from my store and I thought to myself, man, if I had a paintball gun, just fucking light your ass up. Can't even do that. So give me a single player game where I can just sit there and operate a store and then beat the shit out of my customers. I'm a happy boy.
Bro, I don't think you have any return of business, bro.
Oh, they're coming back. They're coming back one way or another. They want their family members, right?
It's a black and blue discount.
I can't play no online multiplayer game with no voice chat though. So like, I feel like I'm gonna have to, because like honestly, playing Call of Duty for 4 hours a day probably counts towards your engaging with the toxic community for 4 hours a day. And like, I already do that for like 2 hours a day at least. So
that's what I'm saying. And how toxic are we going? Are we going like, do I have to scroll through Reddit for 4 hours and leave comments, engage, or am I going on like, I've never been on that.
Like, you gotta talk shit in game chat, right? Just talk shit in game chat.
Talk shit. But motherfuckers, game chat is not as lit as it used to be back in the day, bro. Back in the day, everybody used to be on that shit. I feel like everybody, they be on their party chat. Yeah. Yo, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's
that's what I'm saying.
Bro,
4 hours of that's not bad.
I feel like the most toxic people are still in game chat, I think.
Yeah, but it's not as common, bro. OG Xbox Live, bro.
Yeah, of course. They made you be in game chat. They made you be in game chat. Like, that's when shit was lit.
I mean, even after it came out.
Racist and condescending.
Bro, yes, bro. Black Ops 2 lobbies.
You got some 6-year-old talking about how he did your mom. Like, bro, what?
Bro, they used to, game chat used to be so popular, motherfuckers made YouTube careers off of it, just trolling in game chat, bro. Y'all don't remember them montages? That shit used to be hilarious, bro. I was saying the craziest shit, bro.
Yeah, like,
you have some people DDoSing the YouTube.
Yeah.
You said what?
DDoSing.
What do you say? Oh, I thought you said something else.
What the hell were you thinking?
Bruh, I was like, what did you just say?
I don't know what you said, but I want to know what you
Yeah, I want to know what he thought I said too. What the hell? What's going through your head right now?
That's what I heard.
What'd you say?
I heard blank office. I was like, what did you
Blank office?
Yeah.
I said DDoS. You heard blank office?
That's what I heard. I'm like, what did you just say? I was like, hold on.
That's interesting.
Okay.
It's your accent, bro. It's your accent.
But you have an accent.
Yeah, what accent are you talking about?
All right, check this out. Y'all ready?
Everybody got an accent. What's the next?
All right. Would you rather invest all of your time into becoming a pro gamer with an 80% chance of immense fame and fortune, but a 20% chance of suffering a career-ending burnout and mental health issues, or pursue a stable traditional career with 100% certainty of financial security, but no gaming-related fame?
Oh, the second one. I'd rather be rich and what do you
I'd rather be comfortable.
It's so easy, bro.
Yeah, like, I can have hundreds of dollars to play game. $1,000.
But he never said it. He never said.
I said 100% financial security, traditional career. So that you're a regular person, okay? In the second one, the first one, you got an 80% chance to become a pro gamer, but 20% chance you had burnout.
I don't give a fuck about pro gaming. You said 100% chance of financial security.
That's all I need in here.
And gaming fame. Do I give a fuck?
And let's put it this way too: the rules don't say you can't play video games ever again. So you can be guaranteed the money and still play your games, bro. You're good.
I don't give a fuck about gaming fame. Bro, 100% financial security.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, fuck
80% chance of making it big it's enticing, but I'm still choosing 100%.
Bro, how famous can you get for being a pro gamer? Bro, you gonna have your pro career, then then you have to get lit off Twitch streaming. So that's the only way it could really go. And you have an 80% chance. So let's say 80%.
But pro gaming, all right, 100% chance of financial security. That's like staying afloat. That's like maybe your 100K.
Sure. Describe financial security.
Chance of pro gaming. That's multi-millions a year. Like 80% chance of that.
Yeah, but the thing is that once that dries out, though. If you're not doing anything smart with your money, if you're being an idiot or you're spending money,
I mean, you're in the millions.
You're in the pro game.
I'm not gonna blow that like an idiot.
You'd be surprised. People are stupid.
Pro gaming is not as lit. I feel like it's not as lit like as it used to be. Like back in the like the phase optic days, like back in the day, like the montage days or whatever. And that's when pro gaming was lit. I feel like,
but the money they make is still crazy. Like I'm sure it's more than it used to be. They might not be.
I don't know. I can't.
Hold on. Let me
I
look it up.
didn't check the numbers.
Like, it's more from like streaming than to do from like pro games or pro tournaments. It's more from streaming.
Yeah, I feel like streaming and brand recognition is really it. Like, because a lot of pro gamers are not really personalities, so they can't really transition after the gaming career is done. But you
Wait
said
a second. What do you're saying? Oh, wait. So pro gaming, y'all are talking about like only competitions, like yeah, like
no, but the way
so not like a stream. Oh, okay.
So hold on.
I see what you're saying.
Just to be clear, so I'm looking up real quick. So the top earners as pro gamers, they make millions of dollars annually. So you're making a few million a year.
Yeah.
But that's the top earners. Mid-tier players typically earn between 10 to 50,000 annually. So.
Oh yeah, it's ass.
No, but let's say the 80% is you're going to be in the top.
But are they
top
considered
range.
pro?
They're considered. They're within that pro tier, but they're the mid-tier earners.
Got you.
I don't know.
I'm choosing that financial security.
100%. Like, does that include like house, crib? Is that like
maybe if you would have said 80%,
Like, how successful are we talking about? Like the top ones that making the million a year, or
yo? I got another
It
question.
doesn't say which one you are.
Yeah, it doesn't. But let's say just for the purpose question. All right, let's say 80% chance you're the top pro gamer, or 100% chance financial security, but you can never touch a video game again in your life. Never.
See, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
That's different. That's definitely different.
Like, just never touch
That's
a
not the
video.
question though.
No, but I'm just saying if I'm proposing a new
Right,
question.
of course.
Yeah,
My fault. I didn't mean
that would just be.
just quick fire. My fault.
Oh no.
But here's the thing: if it's
I would
80,
say the first
if
one.
it's
You say first one?
I'll say the first
there you
one.
go.
No, fuck go ahead. Yeah. I say first one too now. If I can't play video game again, I'll try the first one.
I
got
think
80%
honestly,
chance.
like if.
Fuck. 8%.
Yeah, you said 80% chance of being a pro gamer though. What if it's one of those 10 to 50K annuities? Like if you said 80% chance of being a gaming personality, then I'm definitely choosing 80% chance of being a gaming personality
But
instead
you
of
gotta
never playing video
understand,
games
bro.
again.
That's a gaming person. It didn't say that's all you did. You feel me? Like literally, like you could literally do that and then do other stuff as well too. But you at least making that on the side as well too.
That's what I'm saying. In the first question, I did say something about fame and fortune.
Yeah.
So let's say you're an 80% chance that you'll have a good career, 20% chance your shit is trash, terrible.
Yeah.
I get what
And
you're
no,
saying.
they said
Like,
20% chance of like mental breakdown.
They did say that.
Yeah, mental breakdown. I never forgot about that.
Well, that mental breakdown is usually about like online gaming though, and the pressure of it. But like most of those pro gamers spend like 6 to 10 hours gaming, or like online engaging with the community. So like it'll be hard to actually have a different career unless it's in tandem with the online. Like it's going to be hard to be honest with you.
that's interesting.
I like being outside a little bit too. Like I feel like I feel like financial. But if you couldn't touch a video game again, though, like that'd be interesting. I think I'd still have to. I'd have to try the gaming career. Just 'cause I like video. It's just it's a nice little escape from reality, bro. And I gotta play GTA 6. Like you feel me? So that's wild. If I just like
So, quick question. I got something for y'all, real quick. For all the gamers here, what do you guys think the most important game character of all time is, in your opinion?
Mario.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mario. To be honest.
Mario. That shit started it all, bro, with the pixels, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody say Mario?
Or yeah.
I could argue between Mario and Sonic.
Oh
between those two.
no! What about Angry Birds? Like what we did have the arcade generation. No, my fault. I'm smacked. It's the fuck Pac-Man, bro. I'm smacked.
Pac-Man is up there too.
Pac-Man, my fault, bro. Apologies.
Angry Birds.
Like man, shit. Angry Birds. I'm like what?
I mean, we had Custer's Revenge.
Yeah. What?
You never heard of that game?
All right.
All the time. I'm actually kind of disappointed. Nobody,
about to say
I'm trying to make a fucked up joke. The fact that none of you know what that is, I just went right over. It's a fucked up game, by the way.
Mario?
I don't know what the game is.
Wait, what game?
I said Custer's Revenge. It's an old Atari game.
Oh, fuck.
Long story short, you're playing as General Custer, and he's going after the Native American women.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's starting to.
That's why it's forgotten. That's why it's forgotten.
That's why it's forgotten.
But fucking after Mario though, like, because does everyone agree that it's kind of Mario?
Yeah, I think Mario. Though,
idea.
Well, you got DK Donkey Kong too. Which came into the Mario universe. Donkey Kong was the first.
But wasn't Mario the dude holding the princess?
Mario?
I'm sorry?
And then you got Sonic too, but that Sonic came after Mario.
Oh no, was it Donkey Kong?
I still feel like if it wasn't Mario, it would be some other. I feel like it would be some other Nintendo character. But I feel like there's like if you consider somebody like Pikachu a character, like
Pikachu is much later though.
It's like anime. I feel like
he's definitely much later.
Nah,
but that's weren't they video games first? They were video games first.
No, I think they were anime first.
95.
No.
Mario. Mario's definitely before.
Yeah,
Mario's definitely before, but I'm saying for Pokemon, didn't Pokemon first debut as a Game Boy game, not as an anime?
I'm looking it up right now, actually.
No, it came out as a manga first.
Yeah, it came out, yeah.
So it was a manga, then it became a Game Boy.
The manga. Okay. Yeah, nah, you're probably right.
Oh, actually, no. Pokemon started as a game.
wow.
It did actually start as a game.
Leo got it.
So
really? I thought it started as a manga first. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at it right here. Pokemon started as a game. The first Pokemon games were Pocket Monsters Red and Pocket Monsters Green. So Pokemon were released in Japan on the Game Boy February 27, 1996. The anime followed later, premiering in April 1st, 1997. The first major manga series started off in March 1997.
Okay.
So it was the game, the anime, then the manga.
Wow.
Okay.
So definitely Mario, but like I feel like there's a case for like one of the Pokemon guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say Pac-Man. Or between Pac-Man and
Pac-Man is big because Pac-Man ran the arcades and shit. Like that's definitely big.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
Spaceship Invaders.
I feel like Solid Snake is up there too. Just like but that came a little later. But I still feel like in top 3 characters, Snake is definitely up there.
Yeah.
Like just in video games all the time. What's Samus from
Metroid.
Metroid, yeah, that was
Metroid,
yeah.
Bro, wasn't it shot like I think wasn't that like when she finally took
Samus is a girl, isn't
yeah, when they took off the suit, when she took off the suit that was big.
So Metroid 1 they didn't everybody assumed was a dude. Then at the end of Metroid 2, if you got a certain score, she took off her armor and you realized she was a chick.
Yeah.
I think that was how it went.
That was crazy though. That kind of blew a lot of people's minds back. I remember hearing about that. Not because I wasn't old enough, but I read about it. All right.
Okay. So let's get one more in. All right. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah. No, we could do this one. Okay. Would you rather have a world where all stories are told through a single, consistent, and universally accepted canon, or a world with infinite interpretations and alternate realities where nothing is definitively true?
What? Can you repeat that?
Like a fictional world?
So basically, in one scenario, everything is set in stone, whereas the other one is more open in interpretation.
How would that work? Is that like
as far as
the story for almost Umbrella Academy down there? So like everyone dies in the end of the apocalypse. So I guess I had to choose I guess kind of like Loki's route, where it's like it never ending, multiple scenarios, multiple universes. I choose option 2.
I think option 2, honestly.
Yeah, option 2 provides more variety.
Yeah.
Well, then
now, are you able to explore the multiverse, or like are you just stuck in yours? But
in that option 2, there's definitely one of y'all that's exploring the multiverse, ain't it?
Okay.
True.
Is
Yeah.
Is it just like but it's not just the device the story is told through? Is that just in relation to
that's just in relation of it, regardless, because it's balancing opportunities in that second option that is in the first.
Oh wait, is this for how shows are made, or is this for?
If like in a scenario, if you were in that world. Basically.
Oh yeah, multiverse.
Like one way or plenty others, countless ways, basically.
My main character.
But my main character. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up right here. This has been a really good podcast and stuff. We're gonna come back Thursday with it for another podcast where we're actually playing D&D as well too. We already technically have had built out characters. A lot of us haven't played before, so Ollie's going to be a game master. He's going to take us through to it. If you guys already know how to play as well too, go ahead and watch that. We're going to start a little series, and we're going to be kind of reacting to everything we're going to do. Kind of just to that, just because we're newbies in it. So it is what it is. But other than that, Nick, you got anything to say to people?
If you guys are hyped and ready for Death Stranding 2, come on over to my channel, Nick Mal. Well, Nick Mal streaming on Twitch. Technical difficulties over on YouTube. And Nick Mal Graham on Instagram. And I'll see you on over there.
This is podcast host Dr. Flo. Hope to provide some creativity, insight, and comedy. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Yo, this is Leo signing off. I will see you guys very soon, either on Thursday or on Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody.
And again, this is Alibaba, giving you information about games, anime, and Marvel.
And if you're into topics about fitness, or the information through anime, DC, or even Marvel characters, as well as using other gym equipment to, I guess, to build other muscles and sort of techniques, go ahead and check out the About page of my channel on Instagram, Facebook, as well as TikTok. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time.
And this is AC Slater, the host of D.A.M podcast. Y'all go ahead and follow us on social media. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube. That is at D.A.M pod. That is ThatDampod. And follow us on Instagram as well too. I know a lot of us kind of
leave a like, comment.
Yeah, a lot of us get confused about what the Instagram generally is. All right, we did have 2 Instagrams, so just to set the record straight. The other one is already up for deletion, but it is X That Damn Podcast. All right, the X comes first. All right, y'all already know it. All right, it does not come last, even though in real life that's how I go. Anyways, but
yeah, peace
we'll
out.
see you guys Thursday.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.